Hey there, welcome to this segment of Real Time with Ray, a very short podcast with some real talk. Real talk about the issues that the superwoman, that independent, uh, go getter, make it happen. What's some other attributes of the superwoman? She's independent. She's a decision maker. She's a go getter. She's high achieving. Yeah, but bigger than probably all of these things, she is strong willed, which sometimes causes her to get in her own way. What we talk about here is real solutions. It's real talk with real solutions for, the real time issues that the superwoman deals with her, what she faces with her man, her money, and her mini-me. And so in this segment, we are going to talk about our millennial mini-me's. Yeah, those wonderful, wonderful beings. And listen, if you don't have a millennial mini-me, that's okay. What would be great is if you know someone who has a millennial mini-me, just like kind of share this podcast with them, this episode, this conversation with them, because I'm going to share some really helpful, really helpful nuggets with you dolls, because the things that the questions. See, okay, let me back up. All right, so I talk to superwomen all the time. That's my thing. I have a heart and an affection for the superwoman. But I don't only talk to superwomen. I also talk to millennials, and I call them superwomen in training. They're my SWITs, my superwomen in training. And I get so many questions from them. I have so many conversations with them. I'm constantly, like my ear is to the ground, hearing the activities that's going on with them, because I have a millennial. My mini-me is a millennial, and her and her friends have been loving and adoring me since their teens, even during their teens. And so, they've been coming to me over the years. And so I just, I see a lot, I hear a lot, I know a lot, and, they confide in me. And so we have that trust, we have that foundation. And so, I just want to share some things with you about, millennials that might help you. What's the word I want to use? Engage with them a little more effectively. That might help you to appreciate them a little bit more, because they're a little frustrating. I can't deny it. They're a little frustrating, but I love them. I love millennials. I think they are so dope. I love millennials. And I want to start out talking about, I had to preface it by letting you all know how much I love and adore millennials. Though I do have some concerns about millennials, and because I've got concerns, I'm sure that you dolls have concerns as well. So we're going to address some of them, because they're dealing with a lot, they're facing a lot, and they need support. And that's just real honest. They need support, even though they think they got it all together, even though they think they know it all, even though they think, we know nothing. Yeah. Silly them. Yeah, they need support, and they definitely need help. And so one of the things that I wanted to start out saying, like on an upside, to help you to appreciate and value the millennial, I wanted to point out that I love their ambition. I love that they're ambitious. I love that they're creative. I love that they're innovative. I love that they're bold. I love it. I love it. I love it. My concern, though, is a couple of concerns. My two primary concerns with millennials are one, with them being bold and outspoken, a lot of that, actually, both of the concerns are a direct effect of I don't even know if effect is the word, but a result, are a direct results of them living in an information age. Okay, so the first concern is that with them having all of this information, they developed this, I'm using my quotation fingers, all you gotta do type of mentality. Yeah, you and I, who are tenured, know that things are just not quite as simple or as easy as information might make it appear to be. And then the other concern is, in them being bold and such, it's just kind of like there's this high-mindedness that comes along with it. It's this high-mindedness. Now, let me give some balance with that, because I teach, I encourage, I counsel, I preach from the mountaintops that we should think highly of ourselves as superwomen. And I definitely teach, my SWITs, my superwomen in training, the millennials, I teach them as well. Think highly of yourself. So I stand flat-footed on that. The problem is when you start to think more highly of yourself than you should. Yeah. So when are they thinking more highly of themselves when they should? Well, definitely with all of this information, they kind of think that they know. I know. I know. Well, we all know that you know nothing if you haven't experienced it. Us who are tenured, we know that. You know nothing if you haven't experienced it. Because when I was in hair school, I talked about my hair career in one of the other segments. But when I was in hair school, we had two sections. We had our theory and our practical. The theory was education. So when I say theory, I'm not talking about, or I'm not secluding it to only being just an idea, because some of the theory was facts. Some of the theory were absolute facts, and they were provable. They were and they were demonstrable. So you could definitely demonstrate those things. So theory, when I say the word theory, I'm not just talking about, it's just a thought. It's nothing that's proven. I'm speaking from the aspect of it being information. And then the other segment was the practical, which was our hands-on. So our theory was our education, and the practical was our hands-on. So when you're reading the theory, you're getting this information. You like, all I got to do is pull the hair down and just cut across. Well, when you tried to pull that hair down and just cut across, you saw how it just wasn't that simple cutting a nice, clean line. No, you had to practice it. You had to do it. You had to experience it. And then you got good at that nice, clean line, and you got good at, doing these cuts, right? Okay, so by all means, the theory that they get, they need the support from people like you and me and others, of course. They need the support as they step into the practical with that theory, right? They need the supports. And so The high-mindedness. There's a difference between thinking highly of yourself and being high-minded. The high-mindedness has deceived them into thinking, oh, I got this. Oh, I know. Yeah, not yet. You know in part. They know in part. But it's up to us to help them. Now, it gets a little difficult, right? Because of the pushback. And they do push back, right? They push back because, again, the information, all of this information is coming at them. And so they're constantly sorting and sifting information, categorizing information. And unfortunately, because they can just go Google something when you go to talk to your mini-me, your millennial mini-me, and either mini-me. I mean, it doesn't really have to be just the millennials, but I'm just talking about millennials here. So when you go to talk to your millennial mini-me, they've already got information, and they're comparing the information that you're sharing with them to the information that they already compartmentalized. Competition. Can we say competition? So what does that mean? It means you've got to be patient. You've got to exercise love and patience. And it's frustrating. I get it, because no mother wants to see their child suffer. No mother wants to see her mini-me crash and burn. No mother wants to see her mini-me go through, I'm using my quotation fingers, the hurt. But guess what? Sometimes it's just necessary. Sometimes it's just necessary. Some things can be avoided. Some things can't. And, one of the things, and this is so key. One of the things that I do that helps me to relieve my frustration, because as a mother, and this is just some real talk right here. As a mother, you kind of feel like if I wash my hands with it, I'm giving up on my child, and no mom wants to give up on their mini-me. But the frustration makes you want to give up on your mini-me, right? So here's what I do, and it's been super, super effective for me, and it works. It works. So a cocktail of prayer and counseling. What I would do is, because I love my mini-me, it is my responsibility to make sure that I tell her what's true. That's my responsibility, because love protects. So how do I say, oh, I ain't saying nothing, that's on her? No, I don't do that. Now, I might not keep saying something. If you keep ignoring what I'm saying to you, I might not keep saying something. But at the onset, it is my responsibility, because I love you, to protect you and tell you the truth. And I'll do that. So that's the counsel part. But then the prayer. So I go to God and I say, you know what, God? This is your daughter. This is your child. You love her more than I do. You want her protected more than I do. You want her kept from harm more than I do. So speak to her. Reach her. Send laborers across her path. People, send her examples. Open her eyes so that she can see what she needs to see. Open her ears so that she can hear what she needs to hear. Send people who she can receive your voice from. Those kind of things. It's not a one-man show. It's like, I understand that the responsibility is not fully upon me. Not at all. There's no way, because there's some things that I absolutely don't know, that I haven't experienced. I was saying, you don't know until you've experienced it, right? Well, there's some things I haven't experienced, but the things that I have experienced, oh yes, I'm going to tell it from the mountaintop. But anyway, so yes, that cocktail of prayer and counsel. So listen, support your millennials. I know it gets frustrating, but listen, love them and be patient with them. And pray for them, okay? Not the, oh, woe is me prayer. Oh, God, can you please do something? No, God, you love them. You love my mini-me. Talk to my mini-me. Help my mini-me. Straighten out my mini-me. Deal with it. So those are my thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. Catch me on social media at Ray Share.